Hi everybody, I'm here today to talk about one of my favorite writers and my favorite comic book writer, Mr. Tom King. Tom King grew up in Southern California to a middle-class family. He was very intelligent as a youth. He ended up going to Columbia University, which is one of the best schools in the nation. It's an Ivy League school, very well known for its academics. He also interned at Marvel and DC Comics for some of the best writers, some of the best artists around at the time. Did a lot more work with Marvel, but worked with both of them a lot during his time in school. He graduated around 2000, 2001 era, and after September 11, he wanted to serve his country a lot more and help out as best as he can, so he applied to the CIA. And eventually he did get in to the CIA counterterrorism unit. So he did a lot of work overseas in the Middle Eastern countries and a lot of traveling undercover and such. Here you can see him in Afghanistan. And here's this. So when he came back home from serving, he started working as a writer. He did a lot of writing while he was in the CIA. He was always a big comic book fan. You could probably guess that from his interning. And he came home, and in about 2012, he wrote his very first book, or he published his very first book. It was written a couple years before that, called Once Crowded Sky. It was a novel, but it was about superheroes, so you can kind of see where he's leaning more towards. And eventually started writing stuff with Marvel and with DC, like Vision and Batman, Swamp Thing, Teen Titans, a bunch of well-known characters for DC and Marvel. CIA had a lot of influence on his comic book work, on his writing style actually. He had a story with with Seth Meyers, which is a late night TV show, where he talks about how everybody had their secret identity almost when you're going undercover in the CIA. And his was just to be a bumbling nerd, almost a comic book nerd, where he would spill stuff on himself and have a backpack full of comic books, and that was easy for him because he already was that. So I thought it was kind of a funny story, and it really shows some of his influence on his work. And also, a lot of his work is more cerebral, more mind-bending, more emotional than just Superman saving the little boy. And as you can see here, this is the picture from before, and one of the first frames of one of his books called The Sheriff of Babylon has the same exact sword structure as well. So I thought that was really interesting how he connected the dots a little bit and showed his previous life. He's went on to win multiple awards. He's won Hugo Awards, Eisner Awards, and the list goes on. He's won multiple Ringo Awards, mainly due to his, like I said, his cerebral storytelling, his very emotional pieces, and they're very mental. So he's won a lot of awards for Batman, a lot of awards for Mr. Miracle, and he just continues to write some of the best books that are out right now. So I pretty much picked Tom King because he's not your everyday comic book writer. The fact that he was part of the CIA was very interesting to me. The fact that influenced his work, just not only by the pictures, but by some of the anecdotes and stories and the type of writing, I thought was also very interesting. Hopefully you can kind of see comic books in a little bit of a different light, or some of you maybe can see comic books in a different light. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time.